Good morning, I hope you're well. We're going to go through the history lesson today. We're going to go through, talk about the Roman baths, which were really important to the Romans. So I hope this all works and I hope it sees you well. So the Romans brought the idea of baths to England and across many of the world that they conquered. So we're going to look at a few things that we're going to learn today. So I can explain what Roman baths were and know the different amenities they contained. Amenities mean features, things that were included in the baths. They're very different from today's baths. So we're going to be able to draw and write about the different features of the Roman baths, and you can tell what a Roman bathhouse is and who used them. It's really a good feature of the Roman Empire. So the Romans loved to keep clean, and bathing was a sociable experience that the Roman people enjoyed sharing together. The Romans also built their baths in countries they conquered and re-established under Roman rule. There are many fine examples of Roman bathhouses in Britain, and this picture shows the Roman bathhouse at Bath, Somerset. So you can get the map from the other day and you can plot where the Roman bathhouses are if that's something you're interested in throughout the country. The Romans are well known for their innovative engineering, so their ideas and their designs. And building a bathhouse really showcased their talents. So you can see from the picture of the first picture, the water heated by furnaces, which were fires underneath the building, and they were maintained constantly by slaves. And the hypercore system used hot air under the floor to distribute the heat. So you can see there's holes in the wall where the heat would rise up and go to all the areas of the building. The baths were often elaborately decorated with statues and fine mosaics, and if we go to St Albans, you'll see these beautiful mosaic tiles, and it was a real show of wealth for them. So there were also mirrors on the walls and beautiful glass ceilings, smooth marble-lined pools. So they really did lavish these buildings with lots of wealth. So the Roman baths obviously needed water, and if that water wasn't available where they wanted to build, they didn't mind about that. They weren't going to let it stop them. So they used aqueducts throughout the towns, and they built huge structures to help them develop the water transfer. So the bath wasn't just a bath, it was much more like a modern gym. So there were three main rooms, and I'm really sorry I can't pronounce the words, but the first, the bathers would relax in a warm room called the, can you have a go? Answers on a postcard. Tepidarium, maybe? After that, they would enter the coldarium, which was a hot room designed to make them sweat out the dirt. And if you can see in the round circular area, the coldarium, sure, there was a tool called the scrigil, and it was used to scrape the dirt off the skin. So they literally used to scrape the dirt off the skin because it was all sweaty. Oh dear, went too fast. We'll go back to that last one in a minute. Good editing from me, I'm sure you'll agree. So the final was the frigarium, maybe? It was like a plunge pool, like a cold pool. Sorry, not a plunge pool, a cold pool big enough to swim in. I will increase this picture at the end so you can see all the final detail of where everything is. So they quite often realised that people enjoyed going to these houses to do other things as well. So there was a gymnasium, like a modern day gym. There was masseurs, and also vendors sold food and drink, and many stalls to keep people spending money, really. Okay, now this is too long. We'll get better at these. So some baths had separate plunge pools, steam rooms and saunas. Entertainment was often provided for people relaxing before and after bathing. Some of the bigger baths had more than one of each type of room in case it got busy and things like that. So there were changing rooms where people could get dressed and undressed, and bathers might bring their slaves to guard their clothes and carry their towels, or they could pay an attendant a fee to look after their property. Just like we've got lockers when we go swimming and things like that, they have that kind of setup, and I'm sure that's probably where we got it from. So I'd like you to pause the video here, or rather after I finish talking, and I'd like you to answer these questions. Now, it says to work with a partner, but obviously you haven't got a partner, or you could work with a loved one at home. So, number one, how was the water brought to the baths? How did the Romans heat the water? What were the names of 3 main bathing experiences? What were the names of the tools used to scrape the dirt off the skin? List 3 other things that visitors could do in the baths. So we could answer these down now in note form, and then you could answer them on video. That would be really nice to see. But this will all help for later on with the actual task. So you can pause here, and we'll come back to you in a second. So now we'll get on to the actual task for the end. So I will post this in Dojo, but also in Google Classrooms. So it's just a few ideas. You don't have to use these floor plans and basic information leaflets, but you can if you'd like to. So use the information you've learned in the lesson and do some research of your own using books and the internet to help you. Design and produce a Roman bathhouse guide. Your teacher may ask you to write information leaflet and create posters and produce a floor plan. So what I'm going to say is that you all made some incredible villas. Now, if you'd like to do a similar thing for the bathhouse, you're more than welcome to. Or you can draw, just like on the basic information leaflet, you can draw a broken up house to explain and label where everything is, or you can create a poster inviting people to come in. It's entirely up to you what you do in that area, but I'd love to see videos and photos of what you've created, because that's what this is all about. Make sure you label all the different features, and you might have to go back along to earlier where that information was about the 3 different centres. I'm not going to try and say them right now because they're really quite difficult. So, presenting the guide. So take turns. Well, on your own, I would love you to present the guide. Now, this will be really important to stick to your favourite section of your guide or your villa. Whatever you produce, if it's on video, it needs to be 30 seconds or shorter, and it needs to be in landscape, which is that way, not that way. Okay, so it needs to be landscape, 30 seconds, and then I can use the whole clip in the video that I create from it. Okay, if it's longer, I'll just take sections from it, which I've been doing at the moment. It's just a limitation in the video editing that I'm using. So I look forward to seeing all of these posted in, and I can't wait to gather all these in and see everyone doing this task. I hope today's been good. I'm going to be working on a few more of these. Part of the reason why I'm doing less of the portfolio videos or waiting for them for longer, so I can create these guides. I hope they're helpful, and I hope you enjoy them. Fingers crossed. Let me know your feedback. I'll be posting a survey soon.